Just need to do a little video rant. What you are looking at here is my CIB Atari 2600 7800 collection. Okay. Minus a couple of pickups that I just got. Now, just wanted to rant about what a pain in the ass it could be to just organize these things. Like, for example, like look up here. I have some of the first issue Atari 2600 games, Combat Air, Sea Battle, Starship, Video Olympics, Surrounded Blackjack. The ones that have gatefold boxes like this. And where the carts themselves, the actual cartridge, has the name and the part number on it, really. So that's what that is there. And if we move over, oh, suddenly there's a new change in boxes. Notice how the number's missing. Now, you can't tell from here, but we all know the numbers are gatefold numbers. And look at the orientation. Look how they changed from over here to the first issue to over here to the second issue. The orientation changed of the way the title is on the spine. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. That means it breaks the pattern in two different ways. And by the way, that Asteroids game is from my vandalism as a 8 or 9 year old child from way back. So we move down and then suddenly, oh, it changes. Look at that. We have a modernish, moderner more looking silvery gray box with a rainbow stripe, followed by a thick red stripe, followed by the name of the game. Hey, cool. So, all right, I guess things have to change as they get newer, so let's see the progress here. All right. Wait a minute. Wait. What the hell was this? Look here. Part 2676, great. Then what the hell is this? Now there's no part number, but it has the Atari Fuji symbol on it. So there we go. We got some more inconsistency here. So let's go down over here. Moon Patrol. What is going on? Now we just have a blank. Not even a part number like we have here with Ms. Pac-Man and Phoenix. But maybe the next one up, the Real Sports... Oh, no. The Real Sports games now have the Atari Foot... Wait a minute. Speaking of which, wait. We have football with the Real Sports logo in tiny print. Next we have Real Sports tennis with really, people, and then going back here, Real Sports volleyball with a freaking part number, not even the Atari Fuji. What are you people doing to me here? Then let's see what happens when we get another design here. Crystal Castle is one of my favorite arcade conversions for the 2600, and it has a well, not really a logo, but a character from the game with Atari 2600 down here. That's kind of similar to what would happen with the Atari 7800, where there'd be a character from the game. So next we have Joust. And Atari Fuji. But at least we have the character from the game, and at least Mario Brothers and Millipede, you have the same pattern there. So at least for 4 CIB Atari games, we have some consistency later on in the 80s. Now let's move over to the next era, the red box. We have Atari, Crossbow, Atari Fuji, Little Atari, Dark Chambers, Atari Fuji. Now I can understand the Little Atari because Dark Chambers is a little bit of a long title, so you might have to shrink it to make it be able to fit. But the thing is, look at how far up the Atari Fuji is from, say, Crossbow and Defender 2. Maybe if they would have put it down to where it is in the other ones, they'd have enough room so they wouldn't have to shrink that Atari logo. Come on, people. And so far, everything looks pretty good. Look what happens over here at Junior Pac-Man. We're missing the word Atari. However, we still have the Fuji down below, except it's back up a little bit higher. Not quite as high as where the Atari Fuji is in Dark Chambers right here. Man, I wonder if I have OCD. Oh, looky here, Roadrunner. Roadrunner, which I do believe I got courtesy of Phil, the No Swear Gamer. Thank you, Phil. Look at that. We have Atari Fuji, yay. And a part number! Come on! Now Atari has to get all bland and re-release Canyon Bomber, a really old game, with grayscale box. Come on, people. Now let's take, for example, Activision. At least the Activision games I have, all the Activision CIBs I have, same style. No real difference here. No real difference. The only difference I could see is that Dragster and Space Shuttle have slightly tiny different two-letter combinations in their part number, even though letters aren't numbers. Well, whatever. All right, let's look over here. The Coleco games, fairly consistent. Fairly consistent. I can deal with that. Now, let's move on to the Magic. Okay, fairly consistent, fairly consistent. There's a little bit of OCD things going on with me here because look at the spacing in those stripes there. Now, if we move on to M Network, aka Mattel, look what happens here. Still pretty consistent. We have, for your Atari video game system. Oh, wait, oops, never mind. For your, look at what this one here. Look at Burger Time. For your Atari 2600 game system, they replaced video with 2600. And now let's move over to Mattel. It's not M Network, now it's Mattel, which means I got to start over again. Bump and jump. For use with the Atari 2600. Now it's not for your Atari, it's for the Atari. Kind of takes the personalization out of it. So anyway, let's move over here. Got some Parker Brothers games here. Only real difference here is that Super Cobra no longer has the two-piece box. It's actually the one piece with the flappable lid. Now, here's where things start to get annoying again. 20th Century Fox. Look at how nicely patterned that is. And maybe a little bit OCD with the Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes box, where the 20th Century Fox logo is a slightly different shade, but no big deal. But look at this one. 20th Century Fox. Deadly Duck. What the hell? What the hell? Come on. And move over to the next round of third-party games right here. We have Space Jockey, Towering Inferno, and Word Zapper. From VidTech. Or is it US Games? Nah, it's VidTech. Ah! Alright. So that's my Atari 2600 CIB collection right there. Now let's move on to the Atari 7800 collection. Let's look at this one. Let me move this out of the way. Let me move this out of the way. Asteroids. My favorite version of Asteroids is the 7800 version of Asteroids. But let's look at the box. Look at the spine here. Asteroids has a trademark symbol, of course. Atari Fuji in black. Okay. Next, we have Ball Blazer. Super Game Cartridge. Ball Blazer. Atari Fuji, slightly smaller. Then we have Barnyard Blaster. The Super Game cartridge is now no longer there. We go down there, we have Atari Fuji and part number. So what's that? I have 3 games so far. That's 3 different variations. Basket Brawl has the same variation as Barnyard Blaster. I think they both came out in the same time frame, so that kind of explains it. But now let's look at the next 2 games here. Centipede, Choplifter. Now they have a character graphic on the spine with the Atari Fuji. So now that's up to 4 variations. Okay. Next we have Desert Falcon. Desert Falcon. Some people like it, some people hate it. I like it. But we have the drawing of the character on there again. We have the Sphinx and the Atari Fuji. But it's a Super Game cartridge. That's 5 variations now. 5. Liz Lemon. Then we have the 2 Donkey Kongs. They're pretty standard, just the title. Atari Fuji, part number. Fight Night. Fight Night, which sucks, by the way, but still has a pretty manageable thing. Food Fight, we are now back to the character and the Atari logo. Galaga, we are back to the very first variation that shares it with Asteroids. That is just the Fuji with no part number. Now here's Hat Trick, which sucks, but not nearly as badly as Fight Night. And this is a variation we've seen before with Ball Blazer, Super Game Cartridge, Hat Trick, blah, blah, blah. All right. Jinx, what do we have here? Not much remarkable. Joust, going back to there. Now, here's something else. Karateka or Karateka. I believe it's supposed to be pronounced Karateka. Let's look at this here. A Super Game Cartridge, has the title, has the logo, and it has the Atari Fuji. But it also has the Atari word, the Atari font in black. So that's what, 6 variations now? All right, Clax, that's a homebrew box, so I'm not going to count that one. Midnight Mutants, I'm not going to care. Ms. Pac-Man, now this is a subtle one. You're probably not going to catch this right away. We have the title, we have the character graphic, great. We have a Fuji, but notice that the title is in a slightly different color from the rest of the games. That's 7 variations now. 7 variations. All right, Rampage I'm going to forgive because that is a third-party title. But I think that's pretty much it for the variations. So such a small... The 7800 has a very small library if you don't count the homebrews. But for such a small library, you get 7 different variations on the damn box. I gotta have myself checked out. I really do believe I have OCD. But anyway, there's my rant. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.